So I asked all of you what you wanted to see from the channel for community interaction, if you'd rather see a Discord server or a subreddit. And overwhelmingly, you guys chose a Discord server, so I have made that. I guess apparently I already had one that I didn't realize I had made a long time ago. And I'm going to have an invite link to that in the description and in the comments. I don't fully understand Discord. To my understanding, when I create an invite link, it actually expires after 24 hours. So if you don't join, I guess within 24 hours of 11 Central Time the night before this goes up, so 11 Central tonight, I'm gonna have to, redo it. If there's a way around that, please let me know. And if anyone wants to start a subreddit and wants to take care of that, you definitely have my blessing to do so. Just please include me on the process in some way. So moving into the news for today, the superhero DC news we have going. There is a lot of clickbait going around about something, and it is based on what appears to be truth, but is a bit of a manipulation of truth, and that's not by the original leaker. So James Sigfield, a industry insider over on Twitter, leaked out some information that people had suspected for a long time about WB Games, and that's that they have been trying to develop a Superman game since 2013. Now, this does match up timeline-wise. We had gotten leaks way back about a Superman games multiple times between 2013 and 2015, really. And so I wanted to sort of walk you through the thread a little bit that he posted over on Twitter, because I do think it's a fascinating read, and there are some interesting images and some things we can kind of learn about it and sort of a little bit of conjecture we can come to. But I hope you stick around to the end, because there's a lot of things being said about this, not by James, but by other outlets, that I don't think are necessarily true. So James starts out by actually revealing that they had been working since 2013, and he showed photos that were already online, leaked in various places, so that he wouldn't get anyone in trouble who might still be under an NDA. He said that in 2013, the company actively was taking pitches from different producers, and so they were going to create their own Superman game during the time. They pitched a game in 2013. It was going to be an open-world Superman game like Spider-Man PS4. It would feature various villains from the DC Pantheon, and we can see some different concept art here of Superman going up against various foes in different locations. Obviously, over Metropolis is one of them. Another one looks like it's either at the Fortress or somewhere that has to do with Krypton. It's really hard to tell since Kryptonian things just generally look the same. Pretty much since the Fortress was invented in modern day cinema, like back with Christopher Reeves, just a lot of Kryptonian things have been portrayed this way, the crystalline structures, so hard to tell where that is. But he showed some more images with Superman, also with Metallo and others flying in the air. And we can see a very interesting design for what could have been Superman's costume, where it looks like they were ditching the briefs or the trunks on the outside of his costume possibly, and going with a different design. But we don't know, because there's other pictures that were shown earlier that had those briefs. So it could just be a different designed skin for the character. They said that the game did not get too far into prototyping, that was then canned by WB. There was a second game that was pitched in 2014, and a lot of people do remember this image. I know he's right on that, because I do. I remember when this was leaked right after I got out of high school, and it was a bio for Kal-El, Superman, and it had an option for selecting skins. It looked like this was being tested or prototyped on Xbox, but nothing ever really came from it. And he said that the game was not greenlit at that time. It was going to be called Superman Unbound. It was going to follow the comic and the animated film adaptation. And then that game was going to be taking place in Kandor. For those of you who don't remember, Kandor is that bottle city. It was collected and shrunk by Brainiac before the planet was destroyed. So that's an interesting setting for it. He said that the purpose of that was to be less open world and to limit Superman's abilities. So that's an interesting take on the character, especially since I'm going to be working on a video about why Superman games are so hard to make. But these abilities for Superman, just what he can do, does make making a game that's actually fun and competent hard to develop. So scaling back on those abilities a little bit, while it might seem a little like a cheap solution, would have been a solution that they could have gone with for sure. And James went on to say that this game was canceled because WB was basically trying to mandate that every WB game use the Arkham engine. They couldn't get Superman's flight to work on it, so it just didn't happen. They had also canceled that Suicide Squad game, reportedly, from around the time. So it is interesting because James ends it with a little bit of conjecture himself, but some interesting things that he points out, that they've pursued this course of action still. Like, he sort of insinuates that they're still looking into it. He's not sure whether they will greenlight a game or not. And he also says, and who knows, they might have already done just that. Here's where I think a lot of conjecture comes from in certain online outlets, without naming any names. And it's not James. James is saying that he doesn't know if they have or not. Essentially that he knows that they had been working on something for a long time. It never came to fruition. But here's the thing. I've been seeing a lot online, people talking about how this could come to next gen. We could finally be getting the Superman game. It's been 6 years, close to 7 now, that they've been working on some sort of Superman game. If all of this is true, and James is just totally right on the ball, 100%, hitting it out of the park with every single thing he said, it's been close to 7 years. I'm not saying that there won't be a Superman game ever. I'm not even saying that there won't be one on next gen. But I do think we have to temper our expectations on this one a little bit. I don't think James pointing out that people have been working on trying to create a game for this amount of time and it's been getting canceled over and over again means a game will come. I think there's a lot more precedent, I guess I would say a lot more credibility to the Arkham game, because we're getting teases from WB Games Montreal now, within the last couple months, about things like Capture the Night and the Symbols. That is something that already people are skeptical on seeing, even with those concrete examples of recent teases. So for us to just jump off the deep end here and be like, well, it's coming, we're gonna get a Superman game, it's entirely conjecture. There's no way to know that, and I really don't think that this is the time to be speculating on whether or not that will happen until we see something with it. At the same time, I do think that these past attempts at Superman do show that effort has gone into this character. They obviously don't want to pump out something bad that doesn't get the character right, or we would have already seen a game by now. But because frankly, these games are very expensive to try to develop. Even the prototyping or concept art phases, they do take money to do. So it's not like this was just them sitting, around doing nothing and BSing and trying to come up with something. They clearly put effort into this. So I think that's worth recognizing for sure. I'm not sure if we'll see another game in the future from Superman that will be good or that will be from WB, but I guess one can hope for sure. So again, I will put the Discord link down in the comments. For now, it is Degeneration Nation. I know that might be really stupid. I want you to tell me if you think it is. I asked for comments over on the community page and suggestions. I got some good ones, but a lot of them didn't really feel like me. And some of them really made me feel like I was running a cult of personality in a way, which felt odd. So I kind of stuck with Degeneration Nation for now. Let me know if you have a better idea than that, obviously in the comments down below. And also let me know what you would want to see from a Superman game. I know I have my list, and maybe I'll make that at some point in the near future, but I also don't really want to throw a lot of gasoline on a fire that I don't personally know if it's going to go anywhere or not. And I don't really want to exploit a possible project for a lot of views when I have literally no insight on it. So I don't know. I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below and what you'd like to see, both from the game and from the channel. I appreciate all your support. We are growing at an exponential rate, and it is all thanks to you. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Have an awesome day.